We are live. This is the Friday Night Fire Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. Are you searching my channel for XRP content? Excellent. I am going to completely sort you out, soup to nuts, from Gensler to the Orange Man. Okay? You want XRP content? You want to know where Bitcoin's going? I'm going to tell you. Most likely, you're going to be surprised that I'm going to tell you about coins that no one is long. And everyone has to get long right now. It's like the new Mount Rushmore cryptos for America. You ready? XRP, Cardano, Hedera, and Algorand. Your YouTube coins are now the prized attractions for hedge funds. And guess what? Guess what? There's no seller. Now, I have gotten all my YouTube members. You can scan the QR code down below. You can look in the description, okay? Or you can see it right on the front page of the channel itself, where the members have gotten the Magnificent Seven. Not the Magnificent Seven banana coins, but the Magnificent Seven, like, investment coins that are all going to 10x without these, like, wicked collapse drawdowns from meme coins, not investment advice. So you got the TA video, you got alt swing, altcoin, alt season, 5x sectors, and you've got the Magnificent Seven and the related portfolios done as a podcast and as a video. Do I have to tell you what those cryptos are doing tonight? Probably not. Probably not, because you're tuning in and you're like, what's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. Also, the people who got the 411 on this in advance was everybody in Patreon. Patreon.com/unhinged crypto, right? That is our middle tier offering where you get this super edgy podcast. Although this is going to be a super edgy stream because I'm feeling it tonight. Okay, they get the 6th Street Crypto podcast and like a newsletter 4 to 6 days a week, depending on what's happening, at an incredibly reasonable price. Hey, we got 600 people in the Patreon free group. Come on home. Come on home. You have no idea what's about to happen here. The good news is I'm about to tell you. And if you've heard it before, you're going to hear it again. I'm serious. This cowboy hat is not a decoration. This cowboy hat is meant to get your attention, right? In other words, I'm risking massive YouTube cringe to make a point. And believe me, when we start going over my TikTok, when you see these LuxAlgo charts, oh my God. Like LuxAlgo, we haven't even scratched the surface. So there's LuxAlgo, the chart program. That link is down below. Then there's like the Bill Noble indicators, which I got to apply to XRP, which you haven't even seen yet. Okay, that's all coming out. That's actually out now. There's so many things, so many coins, so many things to talk about, and so little time. So little time. The pucker factor on crypto hedge funds. We have fun on Friday night at their expense, because we're long on Wednesday and Thursday while they don't sleep all weekend trying to figure out how to get gig along when there are no sellers. There's no supply. There's no more Bitcoin. Again, you know, members, they know this. We had them set up last week. Yes. There is no more Bitcoin. There is no XRP. Somebody on Twitter said this. I used to work with him. He said, you know what? The whole XRP supply has been hoovered up. XRP probably doesn't have any XRP. Ripple probably sold it all. I don't know. Whoever's got it, they ain't selling. We'll see at $5. See at $5. Don't even talk to me. They're going to do it all at once. You're going to wake up Monday. It's going to be at $2. The end of the month, they're going to have it in an ETF and forget about it. It's gone. It's gone. I mean, if it's still below $2, it's cheap, not investment advice. Somebody says, mostly nerds here. No, not exactly. Possibly nerds, but mostly cowboys. This is the Cowboy Market Update. Oh, and by the way, this is also the Cowboy YouTube channel. Wait until I show you what the masses are doing to get XRP content. When you see these numbers, it's going to be the one chart market update. It is. All right, let's welcome our members. Salute to our members, to our Patreon groups. We got somebody coming in with a super chat. I appreciate that. Let me find the super chat. Oh my God, we got more than one person coming in with the super chat. Daniel, $5 trillion market cap. Dude, 5 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. XRP bulls on the loose. Simone Z, welcome. All right, welcoming members. Today's Tech Bites, firing away with those emojis. You get some really cool emojis if you become a member. There's a $ button at the bottom of the chat. Chase, wrong again. Ian, a member, welcome. Forget about it. Forget about it. Storm and Norman, T-Bone is here. I think T-Bone's got a position in some of those Bitcoin stocks like MicroStrategy. I don't know. Lochez in the house, one of the OGs for sure. Spartan number 300 in Patreon. Justin Dietz, hello. What's going on? He got involved. Oh my God, Megan is in the house. Remember when we were buying Solana at $16 and $17? Yeah, and guess what? Play it again, Sam. We're doing it again. We're doing it again tonight, right? The Magnificent Seven and the Fab Four. I don't need to put the Fab Four in the member area. The Orange Man already took care of that. But apparently people are not listening. Michael, the Canadians are here. Have no fear. You know what? You know what I think the Canadians and the English should do? They should moon this until their government goes, hey, our crypto exchanges are breaking because they can't handle the volume. Are people doing this because they want to be FREE and they're sick of our horse? You want to change these people's minds? It's the green button. By the way, members, show them the green button emoji. Joe Mike, Daniel, Dietz, welcome. Right? Brick Dreams, Alexandra. Oh my God. Morning in Switzerland. Gian, like, what's the weather like in the middle of the night in Switzerland? Driftless Crypto, forget about it. Ian, Art, hello. Bull Runner, Richard Barry first on the stream. Welcome. Today's Tech Bites just launching with the emojis. Wrong again. Chase, Ask Friedman, Willimeter, Simone's, Brick Dreams, Daniel, Indie Rock Crypto, Joe Mike. Oh my God, let's go. Let's just absolutely torch YouTube. Let's just torch the airwaves tonight. It's Friday Night Fire. Charles Schwab, Mulls Crypto Trading, incoming CEO, says he feels silly for not buying crypto. So Charles Schwab, they do pretty good at customer service. It's actually a really good company to work for, believe it or not. They win every award in the book, but this is a window into the retail customer base. Now, you want to know why this is the lead headline? Because they broke their own rules. The 7 Schwab investing principles. Establish a plan based on your goals. I want to buy groceries, and I'm sick of whatever government rules over me. So I need to make money, have a baby, get a picket fence, buy a car. That's my plan. Start saving and investing today. Coinbase, green button. Build a diversified Magnificent 7 portfolio by joining Bill Noble's YouTube membership and premium. No, that's not what it says, but yeah. Develop a plan. Minimize fees and taxes. Buy affordable research. Build in methods to deal with losses. Don't trade meme coins with investment capital, right? Rebalance the portfolio regularly. Sector rotation will be important, right? I keep saying this. First it was memes, then it was MicroStrategy, then it was Bitcoin, and now everything else, right? This is how they do rebalancing, right? Where's the grid? They don't have the grid. But the one that they broke, the one that they missed, ignore the noise. Like the number one thing that Charles Schwab was famous for was ignore the noise. Ignore the range of the last 8 months. Ignore Gensler, regulators, FUD. Oh my God, what's going to happen with geopolitics, politics? Shut up. Just shut up. Don't listen to this. I mean, this market was in the abyss on November 4th. The abyss. And everyone's talking about selling, or they're talking about not being able to buy. I'm going to fix all of that. People, listen to me. Ignore the noise. Develop a plan, find the Magnificent Seven, and go for it. And ignore the noise. Now, here we are on TikTok. TikTok, right? Okay, so we got this party started with XRP at $10 is back. That's me at a Starbucks. 124,000 views. Uh-oh. So let's try. XRP is going to 3,000 with a giant bullhead in the back at Rudy's Barbecue. Last count, 17,000 likes. 17,000 likes. 2,000 comments, 548,000 views on an account with 19,000 followers. This could be at 1 million in the morning. This could be at 1 million in the morning. Okay, if XRP takes off. Now, a lot of people think that XRP is going up because the guy that went after Ripple and XRP relentlessly, Gary Gensler, is leaving. Okay. Now, first of all, of course he's leaving. Right? He was leaving, I think, no matter who won the election. But let's talk about what Gensler and his regime tried to do. So they were taking orders from either the White House or Wall Street or both. What's the difference? Because XRP was essentially a fast payment network. It had relationships with banks. It can be plumbing for all types of different cryptos. They have a layer one, and XRP is fast money. That's it. It is fast money. And I don't know who told Gensler to go after this thing, but here's what Gensler did, and this is why it's important. Gensler sued everybody. And what he tried to do was to get judges to basically act like Congress and pass laws from the bench, meaning in a courtroom. Normally, you go to a court to enforce a law, right? The SEC went to court to try to make laws. And judges were like, dude, read your American history book. That's Congress's job. But he just kept it up. He just kept it up. I mean, he tried to say Cardano was a security. Solana was a security, right? I mean, XRP, that lawsuit never ended. There are entire YouTube channels built on the outrage about XRP. And you know what? They succeeded. They succeeded in that they suppressed XRP for 6 years. Megan's right. We all sat here, a year ago, watching Solana 10x. And all these XRP people had to sit there, and its coin just died. They won the lawsuit against the SEC. The coin didn't go up. Ripple was probably selling it. Ripple's probably bearish their own coin. I saw the guy speak. At Consensus in April. The head of Ripple, you know how many times he mentioned XRP? Zero. It's talking about stable coins. When a project gets bearish, its own coin, it's going to the moon. So you have Gensler trying to legislate from the bench. Everybody that ever wanted to suppress crypto, gone. And you have people who go, wow, gee, this is made in America? Oh my God, this guy voted for the other side because he was scared? Oh, well, let's get him on the phone, man. Let's get him out there going, yeah, let's get him on CNBC. Like, they were so mean to me. Now we're back. I mean, think about this. You have Michael Saylor on TV for Bitcoin. Who have we got on TV for XRP? This guy better be over there taking TV lessons. So should Vitalik, by the way. So this guy going away, it's not just this guy going away. It's the whole malaise around crypto. And it's been flipped. It's like Star Trek. We've been beamed into a parallel universe. We're going from planet Gensler to Pump.Fun planet. Except everyone's looking at meme coins and not looking at all the things that Gensler tried to suppress. Go Google SEC lawsuit against multiple coins where securities as Solana, Cardano, they were all on there. They were all on there. That's gone. UK to draft regulatory framework for crypto and stablecoins early next year. I got a better idea. How about you guys shut up, get out of the way, stop acting like East Germany, stop punishing people for what they do on Facebook, and everybody else in England, you know what? Grab a pint and your phone and hit the green button so that they can all see you, because we're sick of it. We're over it. It's done. Like, we're so tired of it that it's stuck in our mind. They're like, wow, XRP's up 10%. Yeah, dude, XRP's going up 500%. Wow, are you sure I can buy it? Yeah, bro, I'm sure you can buy it. Because these people are out there. These people are out there, right? All these bad actors, the Mr. Market is going to just be like, yeah, see ya. Remember, ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise. Ignore it. The word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, says RFKJ on the day his uncle perished. You know, just in case you think this guy, who, remember, invented the whole idea of the strategic Bitcoin reserve, just in case you think this guy, the guy that makes cars, you know, the girl who used to serve in the army, the orange man, the other orange man, sailor, just in case you think these guys are kidding, they're not. This guy puts out at least one tweet a week saying, you know what? I'm not kidding. They're doing this. They're doing all of it. They're going to build it because they can. We're going to the moon. By the way, that was his uncle's idea, by the way. He's like, he got up to the podium and said, we are going to the moon. The United States of America is going to the moon. And guess what? NASA launched the rockets. You know what? When the United States of America puts its mind to something, if you fade it, you wind up with tire tracks on your face. Every crypto hedge fund in America is sitting at home right now going, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's no supply of Cardano. There's no supply of XRP. There's no supply of Bitcoin. And the only fast-moving thing we can get liquidity in is Ethereum. So you could have Cardano, XRP, and all of these coins start moving in 20% increments, and then hedge funds may have to turn around and FOMO in to Ethereum. All because these guys mean business. Pro crypto hedge fund manager for Treasury Secretary. Ha! Again, the market really has not priced any of this in. This is not priced in, which is why guys like Saylor are just buying it by the billions. They're like, oh, wow, this is excellent. We've been on TV for 2 years about this and no one's listening. I hear sailors getting really aggressive on TV. Ask Sailor a dumb question on a TV show. Elon puts a little money payment sign on X. Huh. What do you know about that? How about Doge at 70 cents or $1? Okay, yeah, this guy who doesn't know anything, right, did a DeFi project before the election. Everyone laughed at him. Who knew? Who knew? They laughed at him. Okay. Now he's going to have crypto wallet, crypto payments. Yeah. These guys have definitely figured out that their popularity is correlated to the price of Bitcoin and everything else. Right? I mean, look what they're doing on my site, looking for XRP content. They're looking for XRP content because they're looking for some hope. They're looking for some hope. Everything that they were told is going to wind up being true, though. That's the good news. If Washington, D.C. is our richest area per capita, that tells you how important Doge is. No, that just means everybody in Arkansas, West Virginia, Canada, and Germany has to buy crypto to close the gap, right? We have Doge taking care of one end, putting capital back into the free market system. Meanwhile, if that capital reaches you, it goes into Coinbase. Is the amount we pay in taxes worth it for what the government provides? Okay, so let's talk about old men. Have a brief conversation. These are the economists from the 70s that I read their books in the 80s and the 90s. You got these guys who are saying the primary job of government is to protect the people. That's what they got to do. That's it. That's it. Then you got guys like Ray Dalio who want you to move out of the country because, you know, the whole world's going to get turned upside down. Pluto and Aquarius. Again, we covered all this GAN stuff in the member area in depth. Now, guys like this are being played on Twitter every day. I haven't even seen these videos before. They're on the tape every single day about putting money back into the free market. Is there any market freer than crypto? And how wonderful is it to laugh in the face of all of these doom and gloom move out of the country guys when everybody's going to be moving here for made in America crypto? Okay, so Jim Cramer says, all I can tell you is to own Bitcoin, that Bitcoin is better than MicroStrategy. Schwab, I believe, had MicroStrategy 2 months ago rated as a D on a scale of A through F like school, and the stock has doubled or more, tripled probably. MicroStrategy has become a meme stock. Like the MicroStrategy meme coin didn't work out. Well, because they had to moon the stock. The stock has become a Michael Saylor meme stock. Now, how long can that last? I don't know. But leadership in this market moved pretty dramatically from memes to MicroStrategy. Now everyone's going to watch XRP and Cardano take off and wonder what's happening. Well, you won't be wondering what's happening if you're in the member and Patreon member area. And if you aren't, I'm going to tell you right now, right? Because they're all long, strong, and tucked in. Kramer is saying MicroStrategy is overvalued. You're better off buying Bitcoin. Okay, that MicroStrategy trades at a huge premium because the only way anybody's ever going to buy that much Bitcoin is to buy MicroStrategy. Not to mention the fact that MicroStrategy is a vehicle for mutual funds and pension funds to FOMO into the market because the Bitcoin ETF may not trade enough volume yet. I have another slide from an insurance company. So Jim's like, yeah, the finance math doesn't add up for MicroStrategy. And let me tell you something. In equities, when has the math ever added up? Tesla had no earnings for years. Stock traded at $300 back when I worked at Schwab. All the hedge funds were like, oh, God, I'm going to short this thing. It's going to go to zero. They have no earnings. Now he's like landing rockets that they land themselves on the same launch pad they took off from. Shows you what those characters know. So if these guys think MicroStrategy is overvalued, fine. Buy the miners. Like T-Bone's going to fall out of his chair when I break out the weekly LuxAlgo charts on the mining companies. I mean, I've been in Patreon on these crypto stocks for literally for a year. SEC candidate Teresa says, make crypto great again. In other words, we're going to stop legislating from the bench. We're going to encourage them to innovate. We're going to goose this system to have them innovate. And Congress is going to pass pro-crypto laws. How long do you think it's going to be before Elon is conducting Twitter spaces with the head, with Hodgkins, who's from Cardano, who still has to go on Joe Rogan? And how long do you think before they start having Twitter spaces with the guy from XRP? Do we even know who's in charge of Hedera and Algorand? And undoubtedly, Vitalik is working on, people skills, because they got to get him on TV too. They got to get Vitalik in the gym on meatloaf and ice cream. They got to clean up the acne and get his ass on television. Excuse me. Right? Because if that ever happens, forget about it. Right? If these guys all sit in a room, like if you actually brought back the original Ethereum team, like Hodgkins, the guy from Polkadot, right, and Vitalik, and put them all on one show and says, what about Web3? Where do you think the market's going to go? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, what happened when Elon put all these guys on Joe Rogan and arranged all this media for the allegedly close election? Yeah, whatever. This is happening. Like, this is happening. Now, chart nerds being heard from. So I'm a chart guy, and I'm here to tell you that these are the wrong charts. So if you work for MicroStrategy, let me tell you how to get fired. Take the cup and handle chart into Michael Saylor's office and say, Mike, I have great news for you. Bitcoin's going to 110K. That's the resistance level on the chart, and then it's going to correct. And security will meet you before you get back to your desk, take you out. Mike will take your chart, find your resistance level, and set like buy orders there. Like when it goes through there, he's going to like not stop out. He's going to like stop in. What's the resistance level? Oh, okay. Soros does this. What's the chart level? Oh, okay. I'll buy it there. You sell, I'll buy. We'll see who wins at 110. Right? Way back in the day, Goldman, guy comes out when oil's at $50. His name was Arjun Murti. Comes out with a report that says oil's going to 100. It was a scandal. Wall Street Journal's like, Goldman says oil's going to 100. Everyone's like, oh, Goldman's just bull posting their position. Not only did oil go to 100, it went to 140. It was a complete overshoot. And you know what? At 140, everybody was bullish and thought it was going to 200. This is what's going to happen in Bitcoin, right? Like 100K. Okay. Yeah. 100K, that's a number, right? But 5 minutes after it's not a number, there is no more Bitcoin, right? The only thing stopping this thing right now is psychology. It's definitely not supply. All these Satoshi era wallets are waking up because somebody's calling them up and saying, you know what? Bitcoin's trading at a certain price right now. We'll give you 125 for all your Bitcoin. We'll pay 125 right now. I don't know that that's happening. There's no supply. There's no seller. This is what I tried to tell everybody in this range, right? They lobotomized everybody. They assumed you'd be able to buy the dip. They assumed that when it would go up, it would come back down again. They washed out your mind, most likely shorting all these altcoins, right? To try to suppress the market so BlackRock and company could buy Bitcoin. Forget about it. You're going to show me a Bitcoin chart? Michael Saylor doesn't care. Neither does BlackRock. This is some good Fibonacci work with a 110 target. Who cares? Nobody cares. These hedge funds, they care about their job. Oh my God, XRP's going up. Oh my God, it's going up. What can we levered market buy? In futures, this was the symbol at the market. XRP, Cardano, Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, The Magnificent Seven from the YouTube member area. Remember BitBoy? Remember all the stuff he used to say? We got to get to the exit. Here's the member area QR code. Please come visit us. I mean, let me come off the, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to come off the news. Do you realize what that guy did for the ecosystem back in 2021? Okay. Here's what he did. He got on television and he figured out that, by the government. I think Wendy O still has the video about Gensler pinned to her channel. So they figured out that they could rage against the machine by supporting XRP. So just in case you're wondering, this is my channel. That's the join button. Right? Toby Ward, the best analyst no one knows about in crypto, where you can figure out how to come on in and join us. So what these guys all did was they told you for 4 years that XRP was going to be the biggest coin of the next cycle. And they told you that, and they told you that, and they told people that. And BitBoy had XRP shirts. I wish I still had it. I wish I had it. Right? He sold you an XRP shirt, and he had people FOMO. I mean, Cardano went from like 30 cents to $3 because he said he believed in what Hodgkins was doing. Right? XRP had huge moves. We'll go over the chart. Right? When XRP doesn't move, they just do it all in 1 month. And these guys got everyone in XRP. And then the XRP thing was so painful. Like first Gensler sued them. Then they won. Then it didn't go up. So everyone sold the rally. Then Solana 10x'd in their face. Then they had to watch pump.fun. And they all missed out. Like the Eagle King was on, we were on like we like popped the hood on the channel. People are searching my channel for 2 things. XRP and Michael Saylor. I'd be happy to help you with that. Okay. Everything that you've ever been told about XRP is happening right now. Right. Just right now. Right. By the way, just as an aside, an administrative note, I have figured a way to post member videos and things like that, like the slides in the community posting area. Okay. Back to XRP. Everything that you have ever heard about these coins is happening right now. Bull Runner becomes a member. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Okay. I mean, it's fast money. They have relationships with all the banks. The Orange Man has called the founder. Right? He voted for the other side because he was afraid. No doubt, right? QR code is there down below. And the Orange Man is most likely like, how can I help you? How can I help you, one of the 4 American cryptos with no transaction tax, become the biggest thing that anyone has ever seen? Can we literally launch you into outer space? Like the astronauts, the moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. Yeah, that's happening right now. And that normally happens after they just numb your mind for 8 months with fear and pain and Gensler. I mean, this went on for years. And this XRP rally is what, a week old? I mean, I got 13,000 people, 13,000 viewers, subscribers on the channel. I got 20,000 views on people watching a short video that's like, here's the XRP value proposition. That's a lot. People are out there looking for this stuff. Do you think anybody that's got, a little bit of money that's going to see XRP at $1, you know what they're going to start saying? They're going to start saying it. I'm going to say it Friday night. Well, they're out partying and I'm working. You see XRP at $1, people are going to start saying, imagine buying Bitcoin at $1. Imagine what happens if you know, XRP has a $300 billion market cap. Imagine. The chosen one says Bitcoin Cash could also be next. Dude, I think you're absolutely right. If you look at these different forms of money, how many forms of money are there? There's Solana. Here's XRP doing its little up-only thing. Let's pull up the monthly chart. We're going to do it in a PowerPoint, but, you know, why not do it now? Sean becomes a member. LuxAlgo. I swear to God, this chart thing. This is unbelievable. So XRP went up, and then this thing just inserts that yellow thing is like a support shelf. It's on a monthly chart. And by the way, XRP just kind of got to equilibrium. So the top of equilibrium in XRP is $1.82. What's going to stop this? Nothing. Nothing is going to stop this. Like, how long do you think it's going to take before BitBoy is on? Like, I'm sure he's on already. BitBoy, Wendy O, every single YouTuber is just, I mean, you're going to have XRP on every thumbnail. Like, I'm not sleeping tonight. I got to make 20 XRP videos. I hate to say this, and you should really comment down below, but I don't think anybody's got the real value proposition of like XRP as like Wall Street 2.0. That's catchy. Wall Street 2.0, right? I mean, that's what Ripple is built for. That's why they were sued into oblivion. Nothing is going to stop this. Nothing. Nothing. The price of Bitcoin is still less than 0.1 million. And the gold guy says, and the real value is still zero. How high do you think it's going to have to go? Whoops, share screen. How high do you think this is going to have to go before this guy changes his mind? Like this guy, Michael Saylor, people are forgetting something about him. I've mentioned this before, but I think I'll mention it again because it's Friday Night Fire. This guy paid $20,000 back in 2018, 2019, 2020. He's like, you know what? That was the all-time high. It was like Bitcoin went from like, you know, $500 to $20,000, and then it crashed to $3,000. And we thought it was never going up in our lifetime. It was the worst crypto winter. It was horrible. Literally, like crypto YouTube shows how to talk about baseball and play poker. That's how dead it was. Then it went back to 20,000. You know what Mike did? He paid 20. He's like, I'm buying it at 20. We're all sitting there like, oh my God, is it going to go through 20? Mike's like, yeah, buy it at 20. And I remember inside, this is when I knew it was on. This is when I understood the long-term Bitcoin framework was in like a bunch of ex-Goldman hedge fund guys. One guy was like, what a savage when he paid 20. This guy was paying 60 and 48 before it collapsed. And then he held on to it. Now it's going to go through 100. Everyone's like, wow, Mike, that Bitcoin thing's really working out. He's like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All of that suffering, right? That's all going to come out. He's going to pay 100. He's going to pay 105. And I got the slide. I'm going to tell you how he's going to borrow the money to do it. You're probably wondering where he's getting all this money from. I'm going to show you. This guy is going to bull post this thing. And guess what? It's going to take the whole ecosystem with it. Because even though Mike and MicroStrategy is a great story, it's the new leader, right? It was memes. Now it's Mike. It's MicroStrategy and Mike together, right? This is the new market leadership. MicroStrategy is going to buy 3 million more Bitcoin at 98,000, just in case I'm not making myself clear. Wall Street types are now on CNBC talking about how Bitcoin-backed loans could be huge in the financial system, meaning people, I don't know, either use Bitcoin as collateral to borrow money, or they borrow money in regular markets to just buy Bitcoin. It can be a cornerstone of the close the asset liability gap for pensions. In other words, if your balance sheet is wrecked and you owe a bunch of money, why don't you buy a bunch of Bitcoin? How about that? Bitcoin is currently 1% away from 100K, and I have a super duper space graph from Arkham, who I like, that says BlackRock is continuing to buy. You know, folks, do you need the super duper space graph to know that BlackRock is probably not only not, they don't have enough Bitcoin, but whoever's been suppressing altcoins is about to experience a pump.fun short squeeze of all time. And the Eagle King is pleased to report we now have 100 YouTube members. Hats off to you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. BlackRock will not stop. I will not stop. The Chicago Board of Options Exchange launching all kinds of new ways to get involved in Bitcoin. Now, here's the tweet that you haven't seen. That even if you have seen it, you don't understand it, but you need to. And this is why the Magnificent Seven, you're going to look at it and go, wow, really? That's the Magnificent Seven? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's the Magnificent Seven. Because check this out, right? This is what's starting to happen with just Bitcoin, right? Because this speaks to how many different ETFs you're going to have one day. By the way, Solana and XRP will be next on that ETF scale. Just in case nobody's talked about that. That's going to happen. If you can't beat them, join them. Wall Street is going to join them on both Solana and XRP. Now, back to Wall Street. Europe's second largest insurance company. You're like, Bill, this is a crypto live stream. Why are you talking to me about Europe's second largest insurance company? Because they want to FOMO into Bitcoin. But how do they do that? They probably can't buy the Bitcoin ETF because there's not enough volume. They can't buy Bitcoin because it's a giant European insurance company. How are they going to do that? But wait a minute. Michael Saylor and his $100 billion company are issuing bonds. They're issuing bonds that can turn into stock, right? It's called a convertible. So the Europe's second largest company goes, oh, wow. You mean we can get involved? Oh, we'll take 25% of the bonds that Michael Saylor wants to sell so he can get money to buy Bitcoin. You got any idea? Well, you don't, so I'm going to tell you the size of insurance companies. Like we sit around on the stream, we go, oh, $6.9 billion came into crypto this week, the biggest ever. Dude, European insurance companies, American insurance companies, Japanese insurance companies, huge entities, huge. And a lot of these pension funds have got problems, right? They owe more money than they've got like on hand. They can't meet their liabilities. That's what the guy from CNBC was talking about. So these guys are sitting around going, wait a minute, you mean this guy's issuing like a Bitcoin connected thing that we can do? Oh, well, just take it all. Just take it all. Right? This is the mentality that's out there in huge players. And here we are on our phone, right? We're doing, I don't know. What are we doing? We're doing banana taped to a wall. I mean, that's all fun. That's all good. If you can make a bunch of money, that's great. That's great. But the size of the people who are coming and the amount of supply is not there. So you have the second largest insurance company in Europe, Michael Saylor. I mean, dude, if an insurance company will take 25% of a bond offering, he could borrow $25 billion. Done. And what's he going to do? He's going to FOMO in. He thinks it's going to $1 million. Everyone thinks that's a joke until he starts paying 120. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we got more people joining. Welcome. I mean, people, like I said, and then go to XRP. I'm leaving this up for a reason. Okay. Europe's second largest insurance company, ... American mutual fund, ... Bitcoin ETF, Solana ETF, Ethereum ETF, XRP ETF. Like, these huge players are going to suck all the supply of crypto out of the market. Do you think these guys care about, oh, we do this in crypto. Total Watcher Guru says total crypto market cap is at 3 trillion. Everyone goes in 2021. Everyone's like, oh my God, 3 trillion. They do 3 trillion for breakfast. We got 7 companies that do boring stuff, that are worth 3 trillion. NVIDIA can move in a day, like a big one-day move in NVIDIA. That market cap move is bigger than all of Ethereum. Do you understand the size of the entities that are coming? Silicon Valley hasn't gotten with the program yet. They haven't figured out that in order to keep the orange man and all the new guys in blue suits with badges that they're all going to meet, they haven't figured out yet that they got to start buying Bitcoin. They're probably on the phone with BlackRock going, oh my God, how do we get involved? How do we get cool fast? The only way to get cool fast, Web3, Polkadot. Does anybody remember that Solana was a layer 1 that does something other than meme coins? Does anybody know XRP has a layer 1? I think it's called XRP Ledger. Forget about it. Michael Saylor says we are making $500 million a day. I mean, is he going to stop? Does this look like a guy who goes, there's cup and handle resistance at 110. I think we should take profits here. No, people. No, absolutely not. He's just going to buy more. Mike doesn't even have time to go out and get a haircut, right? Because he's too busy buying Bitcoin. He's too busy levitating the whole system. And these crypto hedge funds, I swear to God, all these people in crypto and legacy, they're not going to have a good holiday season. The crypto bros are going to take it up in their face this Friday night thing that we're doing. Dude, Friday Night Fire. We invented it. Bitcoin futures at 100K. You know what? So what? It's a number. When it trades at 101K, that's actually the big number. Because when it trades at 101K, everyone's going to go, okay, well, that was fun. That was a great tweet. Now what? And then Mike is just going to come in, and the European insurance companies and BlackRock, and they're just going to come in, and they're just not going to be care. They're not going to be price sensitive. It's called inelastic demand, meaning I want it no matter what the price is. And the higher it goes, the more I want it. That's called reflexivity. Or LFG, if you're a crypto bro, like want to get out of your basement, want to have a girlfriend, want to have a boyfriend, want to get out of your day job, you're in the right place. Bitcoin exchange reserves have hit an all-time low because there is no more Bitcoin. It's gone. And the market is not priced for that. And if that's the case, that's going to levitate the new internet, the new Wall Street, because they're going to build it. Why? Because they can. Why did Kennedy want to go to the moon? The moon's a giant rock. Why did we want to go there? Because we were Americans. We're cowboys. That's what we do. And we were certainly not going to let, Eastern European or, communist countries beat us there. They put Sputnik in the sky. They put a man, orbiting the earth. And John Kennedy said, we're going to the moon. The orange man is going to stand at the podium after he takes his hand off the Bible in January, and he's going to say, we're going to the moon. The Chinese kicked all these miners out, and they're all in the great state of Texas. Ha! I mean, you want to give the Chinese the business? Let's broadcast from a mining facility in Texas and talk about how, we're going to save money in other areas of the government, and we're going to build Web3. Conveniently, the crypto community has built it for years. Vitalik and Charles Hoskins are like, hey, we've been here for years, bro. What happens when the orange man gets behind that? The guy that builds giant buildings and skyscrapers and all this stuff. Meanwhile, again, in crypto, everybody is on pump.fun. There's nothing wrong with pump.fun, except if you're distracted, you lose money, or you miss an unbelievable opportunity to buy the next Bitcoin, the next Ethereum, the next Solana at $1 or 30 cents. Again, when I get the PowerPoint deck out, I don't know. You may have to watch the phone. You may have to watch the stream on your phone on the floor because you're going to fall out of your chair. You're going to hear this and you're going to look at the charts and you're going to realize that it's a one deck market update. I mean, what is the nature of the price action? That is essentially what a professional technical analyst will do. I'm about to do it. Cardano officially hits $1. Bitcoin officially hits $1. You ever seen those videos of the guys in 2013 watching Bitcoin go to like 500 or whatever, $20? I'm like, yes. It's about to happen again. Hodgkins has not even gotten on Joe Rogan, by the way. That's happening. That is happening. Bitwise CEO, Solana is an incredible emerging asset and story. Huh. So is XRP. So is Cardano. So is Polkadot. So is every Web3 company that can actually build something big. Polkadot 2.0. You want to know who's talking about Polkadot 2.0? Toby Ward. Lovely blonde woman. No one's listening to her except me. And are now 100 strong YouTube members and the Spartans over in Patreon. Trust me, they're listening. They're listening. Because you know what? She was on Polkadot before everybody else was on Polkadot. History. Oh yeah, here's our guy. Right. Bitcoin breaking $100 for the first time in 2013. You know what, guys? This is you. If you're in XRP, this is you. This is you when it gets to $10 or wherever it's going. This is you. Except we're going to get in now. We're going to be like this guy. You got to get in now so you can make the video later. Right? This is like an investing opportunity, right? Ignore the noise. Ignore the noise, right? There's all this noise of, oh, this is better than that. And oh, no. Ignore the noise. Another SEC person is leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are going to have great books and great videos when they tell you who was actually making the decision during the Gensler era. XRP price surges 25% as headwinds clear Ripple even more. There we go. There we go. The moon is not the limit to the moon and beyond. That's that simple. It's like 2021 all over again, except that was all based on venture capital, pump, YouTube pump. Then when the liquidity ran out, it was dump because it was all just an idea. Now they're actually going to build it. Now they're actually going to do it. Now there's a guy coming into leadership who has a whole bunch of friends, and they've tried to run them all off the planet Earth for the last 4 years. At least, if not more than that. RFKJ has talked about praying to God for 19 years to be able to help kids do whatever he wants to help kids with food and medicine. 19 years. He was the original guy. You know, people were impressed, and I actually got through to his press people around Consensus because the press people talked to me because I was a YouTuber. They were never going to let me talk to him, but they didn't want to make me upset because I was a crypto YouTuber. They wanted me to be excited because he invented this. They're all traveling around together, for God's sakes. You think they're just going to pack it in? Orange Man's like, oh my God, get this poor guy Brad on the line. They have something in common. They've both, you know, the Govy Govies tried to sue them both off the planet. This has a narrative now. This has like a real investing narrative. And you got all these people, you know, it was the XRP army. Like, you know, I think Ben had like a General Patton helmet for the XRP army, right? First, I think it was the Chain Link. It was the Link Marines. By the way, they're coming back. It was the Link Marines, and then it was the XRP army. An army. They're searching my site. They're searching me. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say about XRP? Well, guess what, people? I got plenty to say about XRP now. I got plenty to say. This is one thing the media has actually got right. $47 billion may flow into Bitcoin layer 2 by 2030. Galaxy Digital, so that's Mike Novogratz, and he is quietly got, you know, not quite what Michael Saylor has. Nobody has that, but Mike was that guy back in 2013 buying a bunch of Bitcoin when that was a joke. Okay. Guess what? They build DeFi on Bitcoin. Michael Saylor figures out how to build a financial system on Bitcoin. Bitcoin really is going to $1 million because it's a network. MicroStrategy is a software company. In other words, this is Galaxy Digital's very educated way of saying, who cares about 100K? I mean, they're saying $47 billion is going to flow into Bitcoin just for like the DeFi aspect of it or layer 2s. And BlackRock is expecting a total of 50 billion. And I think they're already at 30. So what are we talking about? We're talking about another 60 billion going into Bitcoin, 70 billion. What's 70 billion? But that doesn't include Mike, by the way, or Uncle Sugar, because they're coming too. So are you telling me that this is all going to happen and it's not going to create the catalyst for Web3? No, I wish I had this video. I know back in the day, let's go back to the XRP rocket ship. I know back in the day that there was a video where Vitalik was answering a question about whether or not Ethereum was a bubble. This may be like 2016, 2017. And he looks at the camera and goes, of course it's a bubble. But in order to have innovation, you got to have a bubble. You got to pump it so we can afford to scale it and build it. So let me ask you something. Do we have a bubble in XRP? Do we have a bubble in Cardano? We have GigaChad, SPX 6900, my personal favorite, Peanut. We have Bonk, Doge, all these meme coins exploding. I don't think the big meme coins are a bubble, but meme coins in general. Now, that's great. You're going to have innovation. But are we all missing 100x somewhere where you wouldn't think you'd have 100x? I mean, you do realize that if you bought NVIDIA in 2014, which in my mind was not that long ago. I mean, what was that? iPhone 6? iPhone 5? What are we on? iPhone 16? You got like is it 100x or 1000x or some insane return from owning NVIDIA over a 10-year period? Has anyone thought about what cryptos you might want to own for 10 years? Do we know a research service out there that has tried to give you the Magnificent Seven? Do we know anybody with a cowboy hat who might try to pull that off in the YouTube member area? This is happening, people. It is happening right now. Influencers sleep, analysts work. Bitcoin unfazed by $2 billion options expiration, maintains rally. CFTC endorses tokenizing trading collateral. Wait a minute. You mean we're going to have security tokens too? We're going to have Wall Street? We're going to have collateral? Where do you see the chart of OM and what that means for all these markets in the PowerPoint? Eagle King is like, oh my God, bro, we're doing a 2-hour show tonight. What are we doing? Sui is growing due to great developer experience. How long do you think it's going to be before everyone is racing to have a partnership with every layer one out there? Like They got to get an announcement out now and then build something by March, or they're all fired. Bitcoin ETF takes in $1 billion a day. Bitcoin ETF's probably going to 50 billion. Why is XRP price up today? You know what, people? If you have to ask that question, you are reading the wrong research. XRP is up today because it's made in America, because legislation from the bench didn't happen when the bad guys were in charge, and they are no longer in charge. You're going to have a big XRPX up there on the crypto Mount Rushmore. Crypto Mount Rushmore, for people outside the United States, Mount Rushmore is a giant statue of 4 American presidents carved into a mountain. Bitcoin, XRP, maybe Cardano, right? What's going to the Hall of Fame? What's going to be the number 2 coin behind Bitcoin? Do you know the answer to that? With the Orange Man and the Orange Men, the Orange Men, the X-Men, the Justice League, Captain America, all these guys that they tried to run out of Dodge. Forget about it. Buy Bitcoin or be irrelevant. Coinbase app gets left behind as meme coin craze drives traders on chain. Phantom, a crypto wallet with steeper learning curve, is ahead of exchange giant Coinbase on the Apple Store rankings. People, are we being naughty in meme coins? I think so. Now, sector rotation is key, jokes aside, right? In other words, one of the things that we're doing here is like, what's the next sector? Like 5 days ago, right? Hello, let's rotate. Portfolio update, let's rotate. Crazy crypto portfolio. Buy these small caps, not investment advice. Hidden gems, you got to rotate. So if you did memes and you make money, guess what? Web3, the thing they built in 2021 that was like all hype, then became a joke, is now the next space race. Big Rich wants to check out Render. You know what, bro? Let's check out Render. By the way, there's a company in Austin called Multicoin Capital. Render, the Graph, Filecoin. They were on Solana early. You know, ho-hum, just another Jesse Livermore accumulation cone. So many accumulation cones, so little time. Oh, by the way, Megan Gomez, an OG on this channel, holding XRP like a complete beast for years. I'm going to show you what happens when you break out of an accumulation cone, and we won't have to, it'll just happen. You'll get it. Trust me. Trust me. Friday night fire. They can't stop us. They can only hope to contain us. Member request on Algorand. The TA tonight is going to blow your mind. I looked at the TA tonight. I was like, you know what? This should be behind a paywall. And then I was like, you know what? It's so self-explanatory. I feel guilty. Not only should you guys have it because I love you, obviously, but I would feel guilty because it's just like, you know, you just get the time frames right on LuxAlgo, and yeah, that's it. So to state the obvious, has anything happened in Algorand like ever? Like, yeah, the 2021 pump, the FTX dump, and then done. I first really heard about Algorand when I was at BitBoy's book signing in Austin. So Ben signed my book, and this guy, AJ, was with him. He was kind of like one of their chart guys, and he was into Algorand. You know, I know Algorand was big on security tokens and things like that. You know, this was kind of the original kind of different thing. Yeah. You've heard this from me for 5 years. The bigger the base, the higher in the space. Something goes way up, collapses, and then turns around, goes right back up the same way it went down, which is a nice way of saying Algorand is at $1.50 or $2.85. No problem. It's not investment advice, people. It's actually on the chart. It's on the chart, right? You know, Sui. What's going to stop this? Nothing. Nothing. We got new members joining. We appreciate that. Thank you. This is like a giant square consolidation. Jonathan, thank you. Welcome. Right? Like maybe this is overbought short term, but if this is the Solana of this cycle, it's at 50 cents. You know, just say to yourself, oh, I could have bought, you know, I know guys that bought Ethereum at 10 cents and sold it at $12. I know guys that bought more at $12. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these things are going to run the internet. They're going to run the internet, for God's sakes, right? And everyone's like, well, you know, it's top 10 market cap. Yeah, it's top 10 market cap in an altcoin market cap universe that's worth $700 billion, and the whole thing should be worth $7 trillion. You know, what are we talking about? Stop it. Just stop it. Welcome, Dario, Bull Runner. Welcome to the show. Jonathan, thank you. People, the Magnificent Seven. QNT. Payment networks, anyone? Payment networks, right? There's like a form of a LuxAlgo accumulation cone. I know I had wild price targets for this. I remember this from back in like the, you know, long-term price prediction model. QNT goes straight up. Let me ask you something. You ever think you're going to see $80, $70, or $60 again? Yeah, that's a big yellow no from LuxAlgo, right? You know, like what happens if the price target on this is like, you know, I don't know, 1,000? Like what happens if whatever the Americans do with XRP, somebody else in another country tries to do with QNT? Because undoubtedly you may have noticed that the dollar is up. Okay. You know, this is a QNT XRP thing that maybe no one's talking about. I think I explained this to Patreon the other night. In other words, you know, you gotta take a look. I know this is not Algorand, but I know that you're interested in crypto, but this is the euro. Does that look good to you? You know, is everyone moving? Is the dollar, are the dollar and Bitcoin going up because there's a problem here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to ruin your evening, but I mean, this is no bueno. Right? I mean, this is the dollar versus the Swiss franc. I mean, I'm not familiar with the problem with the Swiss franc, but they're buying the dollar against every European currency. What's up with that? Less concerned about that, more concerned about this. Now, hopefully this is over. But if it's not over, again, why is the second largest European insurance company buying MicroStrategy bonds? I know you're not going to see that covered on any live stream on crypto. Okay, QNT. You know, if you look at the weekly chart of QNT, so we've established that QNT is probably not going back down again. That seems obvious. I think if QNT breaks 100, the next level is 150 and the eventual target is 222. And frankly, I think that's conservative. Honestly, I mean, prior to FTX, QNT was at 231. So this is a $200 coin is what I'm trying to say. Period. Okay. Let's just have like a psychedelic, I don't know, it's like a cowboy psychedelic chart experience when you see this. Okay, so Jesse Livermore, famous for a book called Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. So this guy was so great at trading that somebody wrote a fictional book using him as the central character. So it was him and like Gann and all these guys back in the early 20th century, which would be like the 1920s and 30s, when you had very crypto-esque volatility in stocks. So this is from the first technical analysis textbook ever. Again, become a member, join the crew. Okay, get the Magnificent Seven. You know, you got an accumulation cone here at the bottom, right? So this is from his notebook, and this is what he would perceive for a stock to go parabolic. He would call it the Livermore's speculative chart. Then he would call it an accumulation cylinder with a widening mouth. So 7 touches and go, go, go. 8, 9, and 10. So here's LuxAlgo automatically drawing these cones. Like I click on a button that says patterns and boom, it's drawing the cone. So I'm like, wow, MicroStrategy broke out of the cone and T-Bone took a couple of days off work. Because T-Bone got in over here along with the rest of Patreon. Okay, OM. So this is where the party really started. This was before MicroStrategy, right? I got the record. I got Filecoin. I see it. All right. Whoops, I lost the slide. So the original was OM. Broke the thing, broke the thing, broke the accumulation cone and just took off straight up. This was the original. This is when I started finding these things. Oh, look. Looky what we got here. Ethereum weekly. What do we do? 8, 10 weeks down on the bottom of this cone, including right before the election. So obviously this has no value. We're not doing Web3. We're not going to the moon. No one cares. The president doesn't care. Hodgkins isn't going on Rogan. Yeah, whatever. So this to get to the top of the cone. So to get to here is 5,200. But of course that can't happen. That's actually the premium zone. Like ETH right now is in a state of balance. It's not ridiculously cheap, but like the next relevant technical point in Ethereum is 5,200, in my opinion. Okay, Cardano. So you don't believe me in Ethereum? I understand. Okay, let's talk about Cardano. Again, this is an automatically drawn formation that matches a notebook from 1920. And that's the market update. I mean, what's going to stop this? Nothing. Yeah, maybe it stops at $1.20 because that's a resistance zone. Then again, who cares about resistance? I think Big Rich said that. Who cares? Right? The only question is, where's support? And I think sometimes I wonder, even with altcoins down, some stuff is still down. It's still down. Everyone's like, oh, I missed out. Missed what? Missed what? Nothing. Cardano was at $3. Do you think BitBoy had a problem buying Cardano at $1 when it was going to $3? Of course not. Of course not. You know, people are saying, you know, like everyone's looking at the recent history of this guy. They got to go back and listen to whatever he was saying way back when. You know, you got to listen to that stuff now because I don't know. I don't think there's anybody on TV talking about this. Everyone's like, wow, Cardano's at $1. Yeah, bro. But why is Cardano at $1? BitBoy used to say, when Charles Hodgkins says something, when he says something to me, I believe him. I believe that he believes every single thing he says. How many people can you say that about in crypto? That's the head of the new president's crypto advisory committee. Forget about it. Doge, weekly accumulation cone, breaks out, comes back down. So you have the intraday or the intra-week retest. In other words, they don't need a second candle. Once they break out, they wick down. Everyone's like, oh no, a wick. Yeah, and then buyers come in. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is going to 72 cents. You got to start drawing stuff like Fibonacci circle analysis. Like I got to get all this stuff I gave Patreon. Used to be in a Patreon store, like long-term price predictions. Somebody found one. I had 89K Bitcoin in November. It's never, those things are never perfect. When you need a roadmap in crypto, you subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. Members, make sure you have alerts on because I'm going to be banging away in the community posts, right? I know nobody uses that. It's like the Twitter for YouTube. This is going to 72 cents because that's an accumulation cone out of a notebook. True Finance, just in case you think you've missed everything. Look at this thing sitting there dead as a doornail. Coinbase Finance altcoin, 6 cents. It was at 50 during the March FOMO. Once it gets going, who's going to sell? You know, whoever's been down here buying it, they got all the supply. Same thing with this. Fetch, artificial superintelligence token. The buy signal on LuxAlgo was actually in September, and everyone thinks this is dead. I mean, nobody wants it at $1.23, but at $4.50, it'll be much more exciting. Like the tech at $4.50 will be amazing. Hedera, same thing. Like seriously, like I don't draw these lines. The machine draws these lines. So I have a machine drawing lines from a notebook in the 20s. And Hedera is not even equilibrium is like 30 cents. I don't even know what does HBAR do? I know it's the bridge for the karate combat token. I've seen their logos at conferences. What does it do? I don't know what it does, but when the orange man is on line one, they're going to tell him what it can do. And if they can't do it, he's going to say, dude, you better start. They partnered with Algorand. I mean, I can only imagine what business development looks like at these projects. They're like, oh my God, we're on the Mount Rushmore of crypto. Where's the plan in the draw? Like, where's the break glass in case of, oh my God, you're like, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. This is not investment advice. It's the space program. It's the Apollo astronauts. People, when you're not listening to me and you're not hitting the green button and you're not at work, you should be watching astronaut movies. I like the right stuff, right? Probably some off-color humor in there. What's it like to be an astronaut going to the moon? You know what? It's not Star Trek. It's scary, right? The ground shakes. Sometimes these test capsules blow up. Like there were a lot of men who gave their lives to get to the moon. Hopefully no one has to do that in crypto. Although somebody probably does have to check on, Brad's nerves over at XRP based on who he voted for. Like that's not a sarcastic joke. Like, wow, he was that scared. Be not afraid, man. This is happening. Avalanche. Okay, so let's talk about Avalanche. You heard all this stuff. Fear, greed is at 95%. Oh my God, bullish sentiment is off the charts. Okay, let's just do a little check. Let me ask you something. Is everybody bullish? Probably. Is everyone long? Certainly not. You know how you know? Other than the fact I have 500,000 people watching a TikTok video in a barbecue joint with a bull's head and an American flag made out of beer cans as the backdrop. because they're looking for content. They're trying to figure out what to do. They're not long. Retail's not long. Retail's like, oh my God, I got to get in. What do I do? I liked XRP 3 years ago. I got to FOMO in. Hedge funds, I got to FOMO in. But they're not long. Like Avalanche. Avalanche, the high was 140 in 2021. Last year, Patreon had fun. We bought it at 10. It went to 60. And now it's a giant accumulation cone and no one's interested. It's got a C chain for security tokens. They're going to build the internet on something like this. No one cares. But what happens? This is just a question. What happens if this Livermore thing in the bottom left-hand corner means that anything that's got the Livermore formation starts trading like a meme coin? Are you interested now? Do you care that everyone is bullish? Everyone is bullish, but everyone is obviously not long if you have a coin like this that hasn't even moved at all. Arrow, DeFi on base, the upward sloping wedge. It's like the accumulation cone's little brother. It's actually more prevalent in crypto than the accumulation cylinder. You never see the cylinder. You usually see this. You see an upward sloping triangle, and then it just goes poop, $3. Gone. The whole base ecosystem is a joke. Like there's Velodrome, there's Degen, there's all this stuff. I mean, think about it. Everybody is trying to get on Phantom to the point where Phantom is bigger than Coinbase. And Coinbase not only has Web3, aka the new space program, but they've got the base network where they got stuff like, I don't know, I can't talk about it because it's in the member area. Cosmos, probably shouldn't talk about that one either. And XRP, as we discussed, when they do it all in 1 month. Daniel noting that Stellar woke up. And of course, nobody except Toby Ward likes Polkadot. But LuxAlgo likes Polkadot because that's the highest conviction buy signal you can get in the automated Mo system. Talked to a guy from Polkadot at Consensus in April. Said BlackRock's talking to him. 10,000 transactions per second. The guy that's in charge of Polkadot had to go back. I don't know. He's like, he went back to like being a DJ just to have some fun because it's so dead. But we don't need this, right? Like I worked at a company where they had like their tech people who knew blockchain code. The head guy used to work at Goldman. Okay. The tech review that they did on Polkadot got the highest tech rating score of any coin they ever reviewed at that time. It was like a 90. Like nothing got a 90. Nothing got an 80. The code on Polkadot was a 90 out of 100. Nobody interested. Yes, it's money you use to buy software. That's what the coin does. The reason it's dead is because, everyone's like, well, no one needs Polkadot. So nobody needs the Polkadot money to buy Polkadot software. Yeah, just like no one needs Chainlink to connect all this stuff when Uncle Sugar and Wall Street and Silicon Valley all come running in here at once. We don't have to build a rocket to the moon. They already built it. They got to pull it out of storage. You got a lot of people talking about 250 in Solana. Not that many people talking about 1,000. How about 528? It's like fib extension work. How about a Solana ETF? They think that they can only handle 3 ETFs at Wall Street, right? That's what they tell you. Now we can only handle 3 because we got to do the due diligence, right? Everybody at Schwab's got to make sure it's okay. You're going to have a Solana ETF so fast, and you're going to have XRP right behind it, or XRP Cardano, and you're going to have the Fab 4, the ones with no transaction tax. Watch Grayscale makes a product. How fast do you think this is going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Like you print 101K Bitcoin, everybody's going to work Monday figuring out how to get into crypto. Everybody. That's on the legacy side. Never mind in crypto. I don't think anybody in crypto's in. I think everybody in crypto's on pump.fun. And then wait till they figure out Solana's a phone company. right? So they're going to put this thing in an ETF. You're going to have pump.fund people buying Solana. Then you're going to have everybody in the ETF buying whatever the validators are going to sell for everyone's free trading. So again, another supply shock going someplace to happen. Algorand covered that. ETH versus Bitcoin. Wow. So you have like some kind of formation, a channel here. They puked it out to the discount zone. It's a weekly. ETH versus Bitcoin back to where it was in March of 2021. You know what, folks? If they can wake up Algorand and Hedera, I think they can wake up ETH. I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they do wake up ETH and ETH goes to 5,000, like, what's this live stream going to look like? Like our YouTube members, oh my God, man, they're gonna be like, these are gonna be like legendary. Like we're like sometimes this trade, it's not obvious. It's far from obvious, right? But it's so simple that you can't talk about it. Like you look like an idiot. Like, hey, XRP and Cardano. Hey, anybody want to buy Polkadot? Like people, when I came out with it, looked at the Magnificent Seven and were like, this is the Magnificent Seven? I mean, we got other portfolios. We got Coinbase. We got high cap, low cap. Yeah, folks, we want to get the set it and forget it. We don't want to give investment advice. We don't want anybody to think that anything is easy because it's not. And the reason this is hard is because no one's paying attention. Marathon Digital. This section is brought to you by the people employing my Patreon group who are about to be one person light. Marathon Digital, buying Bitcoin, mining it and buying it at the same time. They're running a hedge fund. You know, unlike Michael Saylor, they can grow Bitcoin. Now, Mike can borrow money at any price, any time, but, you know, Marathon Digital grows Bitcoin. And of course, hedge funds hate it. The business model is terrible. Management doesn't know what they're doing. Let's all get short the stock. That was the whole smart aleck thing back in April. Oh my God, the Bitcoin halving. Yeah, okay. Okay. The bigger the base, the higher into space. Top in 2021, 4 years, 3 years of pain from $26 to $80. I don't know. How long did it take to go down? But, what did this take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks? 10 weeks. Boom. HUT8. 10, 12 weeks. Stocks trading at 25. The high was 80. The Fibonacci circle target is off the page. It's off the page. Wolf. There's like an accumulation cone. It's like this thing fell so hard that you can barely even see the accumulation cone. Note all this green that was coming in down here. Somebody is like buying all this thing up. I don't exactly know what this does. I know it's in mining, but Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, there's a huge amount of hype about Michael Saylor, and I bet Mike is a little bit jealous. These guys that control crypto, these guys who have been in crypto, I mean, Novogratz, I mean, he'd do tweets like, we're doing a Web3 project. We're grinding. He's building on Cosmos. He's just, I mean, it's just incessantly. Dude, the guy's a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Like wrestlers, they just grind. They just go to the gym every day, right? Get their face rubbed on a mat. This is a guy who is running a crypto investment bank that's like the Goldman Sachs of crypto. I mean, the guy I used to kind of report to at Goldman in a way is now the head of sales for this group. Forget about it. It's just like this could just explode. Like what happened at Wall Street in the 80s when Ronald Reagan came in and said, you know what, let's stop sucking all the money out of the system and let these guys do their thing. Now, of course, the 80s, there's the 80s movie, Wall Street, guys talking on giant mobile phones inside limos, all kinds of excess, but the whole thing exploded. And you got to realize something while we're talking about the 80s. By the way, that's another short that I did. Crypto will bring back the 80s. I'm like, wow, this is stupid. 5K views. 5K views on a channel with 13K followers. Okay. When Ronald Reagan came into office, things changed eventually. Stocks were, they had problems in the beginning. It wasn't magic like this whole Bitcoin thing now. Do you realize in 1974, when my father became a stockbroker, he could not, the bear market was so bad, he could not get anybody to buy one share of stock. Not one. Not one. I will not touch this. It's going to go to zero. Then 10 years later, forget about it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was insane. I mean, the 87 crash was such a big deal because the market did nothing but go up for 7 years or 5 years. It was a 5-year up move. So I ask you this. What do you want to be long if crypto does nothing but go up for 5 years? Well, maybe we could start with the marquee hedge fund, the publicly traded marquee hedge fund. How about that? Like, whatever happened in MicroStrategy can happen in Galaxy Digital. And that is the market update. So, did I go off or did I go off? I think I went off. Okay. We're going to handle undoubtedly a maze of requests for any members who are here. We'll probably do a member AMA. Listen, people, some people may have dropped off, some maybe not. I definitely appreciate you being here. You should check us out on Patreon and in the YouTube member area because you're going to need a portfolio. You're going to need sector rotation. You're going to need different ideas in different sectors. By the way, we did tell you in the latest report what we think is next in terms of sectors. The 80s are back. You don't know what the 80s are? Well, you're going to find out. The easy way to find out is to participate. The bad way to find out is to miss it, right? I know nobody wants to miss anything that goes on in meme coins. You don't want to miss anything that goes on in Web3, the space program. Oh my God. Oh my God. Steve J. Holy cow. I've been waiting for Steve J to come back on. DeFi Perp. Just so anybody knew, for everybody who's new, we've been charting DeFi Perp for Steve for at least 2 years. And I actually looked up the constituents of DeFi Perp. Share screen. Trying to get this call back up again. What I know is, here it is. Okay, so DeFi. This is DeFi Perp Weekly. So there's a perpetual on Binance that tracks DeFi. Now, what DeFi exactly? Oh my God. Let me see if I have, it's like synthetics is like the hottest crypto in the group. Like the rest of these cryptos would make you laugh. Like Band Protocol, like maybe the Graph, there's like Oracles, Bancor, Lenders, Aave, right? Now, some of that stuff's got some jump to it, but most of it is like, Bill, like with the whole world on pump.fun, right? With the entire planet trying to download Phantom, DeFi Perp quietly glides off the bottom of an accumulation cone, quietly gets itself a big old fat LuxAlgo momentum buy signal, and the balance zone in, I don't want to say it's boring, but in plain vanilla DeFi, the balance zone is 132% above where we are right now. Steve has been long this thing the entire time it's been in the accumulation zone, the accumulation cone. Let me ask you something. Is Steve J going to sell? You think? You think anybody that's accumulated these type of coins is going to sell right before Wall Street comes and piles in and everyone just absolutely loses their mind, right? In other words, meme coins are a leadership sector. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, what that means is that, you know, things can trade like meme coins. The market can trade like meme coins, right? Straight up, right? Like all the way up, you know, like 5x, down 40%. I mean, this is the price action that you're going to get. There's the signal in the graph. You got the same signal in October of last year, except this time when the graph goes up, I don't know, man, it's off the page. So all this stuff that, like, you know, nobody wants to talk about, you got to start talking about it. Like, that's the whole reason. Like, you know, what's with the cowboy hat? What's with the, you know, I mean, it's worth saying that a lot of this sector work, like the Magnificent Seven we did together, but a lot of the early sector work actually about the market. Toby Ward up against anybody, because she can pull up banter bubbles and go, yeah, you know, I think this is the way to go. Let's do this. Because she does relative performance analysis in her head because she's got a 180 IQ, which no one notices because, you know, she's an attractive woman. But, you know, this is like a team. I just do all the shouting into the microphone and the TA. There's three people here if you include the Eagle King. And we are under the radar for now. Okay? Because the new general of the XRP cavalry is me. I'm in charge of the XRP cavalry because I have the XRP narrative. Like in equities, it's about the story, right? What is the story behind XRP? It's like an action novel, right? Like the only thing other than the Orange Man, like what did they try to hurt more than the Orange Man? XRP. Don't call it a comeback. They've been here for years. Can Ribbon do a clover? Yeah. And when I looked up, because you can't find any lists of coins in the Polkadot ecosystem anymore. You can't. The Polkadot ecosystem is dead, according to the world. Clover Finance actually showed up as somehow connected to Polkadot. And yes, Ribbon can do, because Ribbon is options, right? You know, oh, we're adding Bitcoin ETF options. Isn't that great? What's an option? Okay, I help people with these things. But Ribbon uses options to help give people like yield, an interest rate, right? Return on their money. You know, it's like a managed account that uses options to generate yield. Like, you know that joke in DeFi, like if you don't know what the yield is, you're the yield, because it's a scheme. Ribbon actually uses financial markets to generate yield. In other words, Wall Street. In other words, DeFi. In other words, Aave. In other words, major boring. Yeah, it's a major boring stuff until a bunch of people can come in and get long and not have to deal with 50% meme coin swings and make a 5x between now and the end of February. Seriously, it's going to go straight up, in my opinion. The Orange Man will take his hand off the Bible. Everybody will sell. That dip will be consumed in mass. And then you will have a banana and people quitting their jobs. And then, you know, we'll talk about when we have to take profits at that point. This is not the banana. This is not even the warm up for the banana, right? Because none of these coins, no one will talk about them. You cannot talk about these coins. You can talk about XRP, but you cannot talk about the Magnificent Seven coins. You cannot talk about what Multicoin Capital owns. You just can't talk about it. So guess what? We're going to talk about it. We're going to stay up on Friday night until I can't talk anymore, which I believe we have reached that point. Please come visit us in Patreon. Please get, this accumulation cone thing. You got to check the links in the description down below, right? Please come check us out. I will see you on Monday.